next week, which is cool. Pretty excited about that. Should be good, but how good will it be? We'll have to wait and see. On me. Or how good will it be for PvP? Well, it's always going to be fine. It's going to be okay, you know? It's going to be fine. But maybe, hopefully, they can adjust it a little bit as they go. So I just wanted to quickly go with like engineer updates very, very quickly. And if you're watching this here on Twitch, awesome. Thank you for being here. And if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm excited that there's some changes. But should we have a quick look at the engineer? I know lots of you come here for my like epic engineer gameplay. Anyway, engineer. So with this update, we're reworking one of the less reliable skill sets, gyros. While potent, their difficulty to use and to optimize has brought them to a spot where they're not really desirable outside of a few niche situations. As part of this rework, gyros are being reclassified as wells, and the Scrapper's particular version of them is mobile and point blank to enhance the Scrapper's melee orientated style. So there is off that's Herald quick, a rune which could be interesting in my opinion, and that is Rune of Chronomancer, which we already use on Reaper. You can apply 2 seconds of quickness when you cast a well, because they're going to be wells now, which will be fun to use, will be fun to think about. So there's already one thing that you know you could be thinking about potentially in a build maybe as well, which I think is pretty fun in PvP or World v World maybe, whatever, and it gives you power and precision as well. So it gives you the power that you need maybe in a Scrapper build. So it could be cool to chuck in a Chronomancer rune maybe. We'll see. I'm going to do that next week. But other than that, it does mean you're not going to send out this little bot to do things anymore. It's not going to be like, you know, this little, I don't know. It is kind of unreliable in a lot of situations. Some of those gyros were just not great, in all fairness. Mainly, well, we'll go through it. I mean, the ones I have on my bar are pretty good. It was mainly just this one. This shredder gyro wasn't so great, to be honest. I mean, what does it do? Deploy a shredder gyro to, yeah, it just does whirling finishes. Yeah, it's a combo. It wasn't really used much. I think I've used it maybe 5 or 6 times ever. But you know, it's not too bad. The others actually have had a lot of use. Stealth gyro is pretty good. Jumping in and out was used in the meta for a long time. Well, I think it was during the hot meta. It was used for a bit. It wasn't a long time. I mean, it could be used with Elementalist and whatnot as well. Stealthing them out. Moving them to different places when they had, you know, the Mistform when they're in downstate and whatnot as well. And Portal and la la la. It was actually pretty cool. And they get wrecked. Yeah, that's the problem. That's the main thing. They get absolutely annihilated and destroyed, which is the main problem, really. Boons ripped, all the stuff. But let's have a look. Let's have a quick little read. The gyro class of skills has been reworked and changed to wells. Gyros are now no longer targetable and instead hover over the engineer to grant their effects. Now, if they're not targetable, I wonder whether or not they can still be AoE cleaved down. If that's the thing, might be a nice question in there. If they're not targetable at all, that makes me think they're just a thing which is there and just invulnerable. Maybe we'll have to wait and see. Flame Blast skill now targets the ground and will explode automatically. Okay, so that's just Flamethrower, right? It's Flamethrower, right? No. Yeah. Yeah. Wait, is it? I'm not being stupid here. Yeah, it's 2 on Flame Blast. Okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah. Oh god, Akujin. Akujin plays with the Flamethrower a lot on Scrapper or Engineer, and he's gonna love that. I'm gonna love that. I'm wondering if it blasts, because it's a blast finisher right now, isn't it? It used to be. Maybe it's not. Did they? This used to be a blast finisher when you trigger it. Is that not the case anymore?
Nothing can bring me down.
No, it is. It's just not worded. Okay. Well, it'll just be easier to actually put it on the ground because it'll just have a ground focused reticle, I guess. That's nice. Huh, that's cool. And it's gonna be easier to use, right? How much burning will apply? I mean, will explode automatically. I mean, who knows? I mean, what does it do now? Just one burning. I mean, I think it's more for the blast because when you put a heal down, Akujin says that he wonders how much burning it will apply, and if there is still some projectile that goes to the area that procs damage and burning on its way to the target space. Well, I think a lot of it is that if when you put it out, sometimes it doesn't work. Actually, legitimately doesn't work sometimes. So I think, you know, that was a bit of an issue, but hey ho, I don't know why I did that. Okay, so Light Strike fixed the bug that caused the skill to display incorrect damage in PvP when a trait is equipped. Just put this down here. I don't think that's that massively important. Blast Gyro tag. This skill has been reworked and renamed Blast Gyro. So that is indeed this one here. Okay, let's go over to one of the golems and let's have a look because this is different. Thank you, Planes. I appreciate it, dude. And I will definitely have a look at that. Blast Gyro. So what it does right now is it hurls a tracking dart for your Blast Gyro to seek out and detonate at. Order your Blast Gyro to self-destruct early. So it does a nice knockback, which is fine. It's unblockable, cool. But it wasn't, you know, I think it could get destroyed on the way as well. It was like it wasn't fantastic. And I don't think it, again, it didn't feel like it worked all the time, just basically. This skill has been reworked and renamed Blast Gyro. The gyro now creates a fire field that follows the engineer while it pulses might to nearby allies every second during its countdown to a significant explosion. So when you're talking about, it's going to be a well, right? It's not going to be that big. How big's it going to be? Do you reckon 360 or something? I don't know. Maybe not even that big. Maybe that big. Who knows, radius wise. And it's just going to be like, what's the ability? There's an ability on Ellie, and it's got the fire out. What's it called? Like that sized AoE. Can't remember. I mean, it says it's going to be a well, so I guess you could think of a well size for Necro as well. But it's going to be basically an AoE that follows you around. Not that big. That's way too big. Overload fire. Yes, it could, like, I think overload fire, yeah. Exactly. So what I'm hoping is that field is then, if that is true, like the wording, like it's a field that you can then blast. So you can, you know, blast it with a healing turret. You can blast it with, or sorry, blast it with an actual just blast on its own, sorry. And how that will work. Whether or not that will be the case. I think that'll be pretty cool. Hopefully. There's a lot of questions because the wording is, I think this is a very rough set of patch notes, which is awesome to have, but there isn't, like, you can't see the actual skill descriptions and whatnot. So, you know, you can, you know, it feels like, you know, it's a field, it's a fire field. We should it pulses out, maybe you can blast the field as well. That'd be pretty cool. Okay, so charge through it, everything else. That'd be nice. Not bad at all. I mean, it's not a knockback or anything, which is, you know, an AoE knockback, you know, kind of pulsing around you would be a bit OP. So blast, you know, still makes sense. Fire is blast damage, I guess, and to a degree, and it's an explosion. Now, if it says countdown to a significant explosion, that could be something that could pair up well in your explosives line. So you could run scrapper explosives. Trying to get out of combat so I can show you the line. Let's do this quick. Jesus Christ, this is something that I really wish would be fixed. Just being able to get out of combat sometimes. Okay, so that's 221. Okay, remember that. So explosives line, where is it? Explosives. Explosions have a chance to cripple and cause bleeding on hit. As an example, you know. Maybe that could be useful. Just popping an idea out there. Could be. You never know. Different things. Different horses for different courses and all that. Could be cool. Hey, great doodad. What's up, dude? Beautiful. Thank you for the information. Medic Gyro. So this skill has been reworked. The gyro now creates a water field that follows the engineer while it pulses, heals to the player and nearby allies every second. So if that's a water field, it means you can blast it. I still don't know if that's going to be, you know, if you're running all gyros, you're not going to have many blasts anyway. So, I mean, you could run with rifle, I suppose, and have the jump shot in there and some other stuff. But otherwise, I don't know how potent that heal is going to be. I have to find out, but I'm not sure that would be used much. Not in PvP, at least. Maybe in, like, World v World. I mean, it'd be nice in team fights. That a healing turret would definitely be better solo, but in team fights, like a water field like that pulsing around would be pretty nice, pretty fun. Bulwark Gyro, this skill has been reworked. So what Medic Gyro does right now is it's just, there you go. Heal nearby allies. So this will appear in you. It'll be like a big water field area. Hopefully, it's not too horrible on the eyes as well. That would kind of suck. It doesn't really last that long either. Hey ho. Yeah, the leaps. Yeah, that's what I was talking about, from like jump shot and elixir gun and stuff like that. But it's still not too much. I mean, yeah, you've got rocket charge. There is a few things. You're right. So here you go. Kind of got it. Here. There you go. You've kind of got it there. Reconstruction field. It's kind of a bit like it. I wonder if that's an indication of the size. Probably not. That seems a bit big. Wait for it to come back off cooldown. So that's the F1 skill. There. Moving field. There you go. So I think there's going to be a trait, and I think that's in the notes further down, where it talks about basically the size is going to be, you know, you can change it through the traits, because obviously the traits are going to have to change for gyros. So there's a significant rework of hopefully of Scrapper. And there is some good bits. I'm playing Scrapper in PvP and I'm doing all right. You know, gold 2, 3, plat 1, dipping in between those. It's not bad. Maybe this could help. It's my favorite. I think it's my favorite elite special. It's my favorite thing to play on engineer at the moment. Holosmith got boring quite quickly for me. It's fun, like with all the light beams and everything else and the damage. Like, that's cool. I like my own personal preference is a bit of support. I like a little bit of healing and support for my team. I'm just one of those people who just likes to support, really. I think it's just my nature. Bulwark Gyro. Create a lightning field that follows the engineer while it grants them barrier every second and redirects some damage from nearby allies to the engineer. So you become quite tanky, and that barrier hopefully mitigates the damage that you will actually... So that's going to hit the barrier instead of you. So, you know, that's actually really nice, because Bulwark Gyro, you know, takes some of that damage away. As you can see, watchful eyes to nearby allies. Incoming damage is reduced by the Bulwark Gyro. So that's actually quite a nice change, actually. That's quite a nice mix-up. Exactly, tool belt skills. Well, they might rework that, maybe. This seems like it maybe should be, because, you know, let's have a quick look at the Scrapper traits as well, i.e. rapid regeneration, which really should have been, I think, reworked a little bit when they moved the lightning fields, right? On destruction, because that doesn't happen at all anymore, does it? No, that's why I don't play that anymore. I remember now. Because you could blast it and it was pretty damn nice. But yeah, they did change a little bit. Yeah, baseline stuff, that would be cool. I do still like Decisive Renown. That's actually pretty good. I like that. It's nice. Helps you move on to fights as well quite quickly, especially if you've got no swiftness. Anyway, that'll help you get some swiftness as well. Lightning Field, just blast it. You're running around. You're all good. I think that's pretty good. Where are we? Bulwark, Purge. Okay, so that's not too bad again. And what is Bulwark, Gyros? So this, I mean, I think that field is still pretty good. I think that's still pretty decent. I don't think they need to rework that specifically. I think that could be fine. Imagine that with the lightning field. You're just a mobile flipping unit, man. It's crazy. And welcome everyone. You used to be able to maintain around 80% super speed in World v World before the nerf. Oh really? Okay. Damn, that's crazy. Yeah, I think that should stay the same. Do you mean up until now, Mrs. Catriarchy, as I tried to say your name many times and get it wrong, and I'm an ass? Used to be able to. Oh, that was, but do you mean with the fields and with this as well and this? I mean, I never really played it in World v World that much, to be honest. I remember there were problems, but yeah, I'm a little bit out of the loop on that one. Okay, cool. Was that probably was not good because you could just get away all the time. That'd probably just be really annoying. Okay, so yeah, I mean, you could probably leave that defense field as well. I think that's still a fun. Skill. I think that's a good two-word skill. I don't think there's any issue with that. You're like, yeah, I mean, that's it. Yeah. I would heal quite often in PvP as well. It's pretty cool. Maybe made fights go a little bit longer, I guess, at times. Okay, so Shredder Gyro, no, Purge Gyro, sorry. Skill's been reworked. So what does it do at the moment? Let's just quickly pop it out. It's condition removal, obviously. Deploy a Purge Gyro, and hello, Radio Geek, how are you? To remove conditions from you and your nearby allies. Order your Purge Gyro to self-destruct. So conditions removed 2, and then recharge time is every 3 seconds that happens. So, no, not too bad. Amount of conditions actually removed. But now what is it being changed to? Gyro now creates a light field that follows the engineer while it removes conditions from the player and nearby allies every second. And now when you blast light fields, you can remove conditions as well. So it's a bit like Elixir Gun. Where is it? So launch an elixir orb, healing allies and impact and creating an area of continual healing, and then you use that and like pretty much you remove conditions, as you can see on the screen. So it's not too bad. So that's going to be a moving field that kind of jumps around with you. So in other words, I mean, you could love that that's unblockable still. So much damage. It's kind of funny though with so much damage. So really, maybe you won't even need Elixir Gun. It's just that really as well. Fumigate's pretty damn good. Removing conditions, applying poison. But you do get on the Purge Gyro, you get Chemical Field, which is pretty nice. Which I think still would be a thing. So you could, I mean, it's not as good as Fumigate, but could still be decent, I think. Don't know what everyone thinks watching this, but yeah. Anyway, not bad. I like it. I think they'll keep that though. Maybe. We'll see. It's the size of the fields though. You like it if it removed 2 conditions every second. Seems like quite a lot. I mean, well, yeah, versus like Necros and Mesmers and stuff at the moment. Yeah, that's true. But I think that's the only reason why. Okay, so otherwise, I think that's pretty cool. Again, you know, it's a lot of speculation. How big is the world going to be and whatnot? I think it's going to be that maximum size. Or the size of wells for Necro at the moment, because obviously it transfers over well. Okay, Shredder Gyro. This is the one which really just doesn't get used at all as far as I know. It looks kind of cool. That's about it. Order your Shredder Gyro to self-destruct. Obviously, that's just the normal one. Deploy a Shredder Gyro to well at the target's location striking foes and using combo fields. So there you go. Wasn't really used for any, especially in PvP. There's just better things to use, you know. Gyro now follows the engineer and performs a whirling finish that inflicts damage on nearby enemies every second. Now, if you've got this on you permanently, so there you go. Maybe you can kind of get, I like that artwork, it's cool. An idea of how big they're going to be just from this, potentially. That could be the smaller sized bar, which makes sense. So that is going to be effectively on you, just doing tons of damage. Could see how much it does actually. Although that's not really. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be the thing because it doesn't. Does it say about it is going to be still a whirl finisher? Maybe it is still a whirling finisher. Okay. Now, can you use that whirling finisher on top of a fire field at the same time? Like, will it do that? So that if you've got the the blast field from the blast gyro, like, will it work with that, for example? Because that actually could be quite nice and will be something I definitely try out for sure. Music randomly kicks in. That could actually be very cool. Let's have a look. In the healing field as well. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and the bolts. Exactly, yeah. And healing bolts actually could be kind of fun. Like, because you'll be rolling around with that. It just depends on how long it lasts for, you know? Because if it just lasts that long, I think it'll be a bit poo, but we'll have to see. A little bit longer in duration would be good. But yeah, there's a lot of possibilities there, I think, to make it useful, to make it fun, I guess. I don't know I can't remember how long Reaper Whales last for, so hopefully it's a similar kind of time. Yeah, the artwork for the ground AoE is very cool. It's all very, you know, it's not all completely clean. It's just kind of a bit sketchy, which is the art style of Guild Wars 2, which is awesome. The Trollas 4 build. That sounds cool. Okay, so Shredder Gyro. Sneak Gyro. This is an interesting one. This skill has been reworked. The gyro now creates a smoke field that follows the engineer while it grants stealth to the player and nearby allies. So it's an AoE stealth. So at the moment, Sneak Gyro does this. It stealths you and follows you, although when you walk, it doesn't follow you straight away. In fact, it goes another direction. As you can see now, it's having issues trying to find out where I'm going. So obviously, you know, if I go off a path, it doesn't follow me over here. It tries to find me. Which sometimes is good for duking, in all honesty, if you can't find a path, because it makes players think you've gone a different direction. But as you can see, it takes a while for it to find me. So there's good and bad to that. But I think in all, it'll be pretty cool. Now, don't forget... Smoke field as well. It does mean you can stack up the stealth afterwards, which would be pretty cool. And also, as I just showed you, you can put out a shitload of blind on the smoke field if you have that. So what you could have is you could have stealth gyro, this shredder gyro. You could go all gyros in all honesty, but you wouldn't have any stun breaks or anything. That would be the thing, unless the traits are changed. So you'd obviously need something to break stun, maybe Elixir S or whatever, and have a couple of gyros, and you would be quite supportive, but you would be using whirling finishers a lot. Maybe, you know, that could be a thing. That could be fun. I mean, you know, like the smoke field would be cool in itself, just for like how I said. Where is it? There you go. I think that's pretty awesome. Pretty fun. I mean, that's technically, I mean, you can put out 3 or 4 blinds maybe. It just depends. I mean, maybe hopefully if this lasts longer, it could be really cool. I think it's actually, I'm actually really looking forward to this. Yeah, I don't know. See, this is the thing. I mean, but the bolts, how far do the bolts go out? This is the thing. Look how far the bolts go out. The bolts go out further. Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, the field will probably blind as well. If it's a smoke field, it should do. Right? So the smoke field is going to blind. The smoke field is also going to give you stealth. It's quite strong. It's an elite though. I mean, how long does this last? I can't remember. Duration 30 seconds. That seems quite strong. A 30-second blind field, movable around with you. Don't know if that's too much. We'll have to see. Be great versus Mesmers, you know. I'm not sure. I know a lot of people aren't too happy with the patch notes at the moment, but I think it's very important that patch notes and stuff like this is looked at now. That's cool, have your criticisms and everything else, but until the day you don't know how it's going to pan out, because something like this could actually be, you know, people might say, you know, oh, it's not that good, blah blah blah, but you never know until the day. Because I remember during Heart of Thorns, there was different bits and pieces that came out. People were like, oh, I'm not sure about this is gonna suck, blah blah blah, and then, you know, it was actually okay, and there was, you know, this is a good patch. And actually during Celestial, I think there was I can't remember, it was so long ago now. But yeah, hopefully they change bits and bobs if they become too powerful. I'm hearing rumors about Elementalist being ridiculous as a healer again. Necro being a bit, like, even their healing line being a bit stronger. I don't know. I didn't work for ArenaNet. No. I worked as I guess a contractor as a shoutcaster. The thing is, Mrs. Patriarchy, is that there is, and this is something that is very important for people to realize, is that if you do have a significant amount of changes to classes or trait lines or specific abilities, and this is a balance thing, and it's a dev thing, and it's a patience thing. If you do that, if you have a significant change to one thing, and you might be thinking about the other class at the same time, if you change the balance of something, then that other thing will automatically change in how it's played anyway in the meta. So they still need to watch for things to change. You can't just be like, right, you know, we're gonna buff this thing that's never been touched. We're also gonna nerf this thing that is very, very strong. Like, we can shave it for now. It's just you have to be very, very careful. I know there's obvious things in, like, with Mesmer that are still wrong and everything else, but still at the same time, I think you have to be very careful. Yeah, people are talking about Scepter indeed. We'll see though. You know, I mean, I like to be patient and wait for the balance patches to come out, and then see how people feel when you've got it in your hand, you know, and you can use it, and you've got all the new skills and all the new abilities and other changes. And it's important to keep those facts in your head, but to remember that, you know, all these changes do inflict changes upon not one just game mode, but many game modes as well. And hey Nolan, what's up, dude? Welcome. Okay, so I'm just going over this one engineer one, to be fair, Nolan. I mean, we can go over more if you want, but it wasn't going to be my main focus. It was just engineer, really. What else was there? Oh, there you go. So they've actually put the trait stuff in. So I like that. That's not too bad. Sneak gyro stuff. Shocking speed. This trait now... Oh, they did put traits in, yeah. This trait now increases the radius of effect of all gyros and causes them to grant super speed to nearby allies on their final pulse. Expert examination. Where is that? Is that here? Pardon me, I can't remember where expert and there. There it is. Oh, that's good. They've changed that trait, which is never used. Cool. That's good. This trait no longer alters gyro's behaviors. Wait. What? Have they got that right? Oh, yeah. Sorry. Gyro skills debilitate enemies upon death. Okay, right. I mean, I didn't use it that much. I think so, Dan. I think it will become pretty fun to play at the very least. A little bit different. Still tanky, I think. Be fun. So the trait no longer alters a gyro's behavior to inflict weakness and vulnerability upon its detonation. Oh no, they've just literally done that. Okay. Yeah, because that's a AoE thing that actually follows you. That's pretty crazy. And obviously you can't detonate. So what are they changing it to? They're actually going to change it at all. Just stunning or dazing a foe applies vulnerability. Okay, fair enough. That could be comboed up, I guess, quite pretty well with what's new. To see. Crystal configuration Storm. Projectiles fired by this trait no longer deal reduced damage. Updated the tooltip to now use phrase projectile range instead of range threshold. Crystal configuration. Where's that? Am I being blind here? Wait, that's something else. That's, yeah, it is Hollismith. Okay, yeah, good. I was like, that's not it? Okay, that's fine then. Oh, okay. Projectiles fired by this trait. It's actually not bad. Is that good? Crystal configuration Eclipse. Reduce this trait's stability duration from 4 seconds to 2 seconds in PvP and 1v World. Okay, so this is all Hollismith stuff. We're just talking about Scrapper right now. I couldn't give a fuck about Hollismith. But they've received Murphs this patch, the Mesmer. Oh dear. We can talk about Hollismith more another time, but I think this is actually pretty good. I'm just really focused on Scrapper because Scrapper